Charles Martinet will no longer be playing Mario for future titles. It's honestly a sad day, but a day that was always coming. Charles Martinet has been voicing Mario all the way back since Mario teaches typing. I mean, he's played Mario my entire life, and for most of your lives as well. There's a few things that will come from and with this change, so let's discuss. At this point, I'm sure many of you have already read the letter from Nintendo announcing Martinet's change in position, but I'll briefly summarize. From now on, Charles Martinet will be stepping back from recording character lines for Nintendo characters, and now he works as a Mario ambassador. Within the coming days, we should expect to see a video with Miyamoto and Martinet. This is crazy. So from here, what's gonna change? Something most people don't think about is that Mario's voice hasn't really changed for the past few years. And I mean literally. They've been using mostly the same voice lines for years. They hardly ever need to record new ones. So I'll ask, what's to happen with Martinet's voice lines? Given the lines from Mario Wonder are recorded by this new actor, it's at least similar enough to the older voice lines that most couldn't even tell. So will Nintendo continue using the original lines recorded alongside the new Wonder lines, or is Nintendo gonna start phasing him out entirely? I would hope that they choose to keep the original lines forever, because not only is it just cost effective to reuse old lines, but they're all so iconic. We may not notice it now, but every wah has its own who, and they're inseparable from each other and the creases of our brain. I wouldn't say it's disrespectful to Charles if they stopped using his lines altogether, because he's had his years of Mario, and as long as he wasn't forced out of the position, which I'll get to, we should absolutely give this new actor a chance. Up until now, I would absolutely be one to say that Mario is Charles and Charles is Mario, but maybe not anymore. If the tweet from GameXplain is to be believed completely, they say Charles Martinet is not involved with Super Mario Bros. Wonder in any capacity, and it is upsetting if completely true, because that means they're ending ties with the original voice lines. However, it might just be for the best, because Nintendo could keep straggling on to decade-old voice lines forever and leave this new actor in the dust. And I don't think they should do that. If they're hiring someone new as a full-time Mario, they should treat him as a full-time Mario. We just have to give him a red hat, some mushrooms, and throw him in the sewers and watch him fight some turtles. It's the initiation, after all. Now, if you're at all familiar with Martinet and his works with Nintendo, you would know that he doesn't just voice Mario, but all of the Mario brothers. That includes Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi. Should the new voice actor fill in the shoes for all of them as well? I'm split on it. For one, it's always been nice to have cohesion between all of them, because they all felt the same, yet separate. However, if they were played by different actors, they could give completely new angles that might not have been seen with just one voice. Charles Martinet is an amazing voice actor, and he gave each character their own spin, but who knows what else could be done with the characters. I can't even say what I want to see, because I don't know, but I'm not completely worried. Charles Martinet is now going to be the Mario ambassador, and if I'm being completely honest, I've got no clue what this could possibly mean. I suppose it means whenever Nintendo appears at a convention, Charles will be there to support and act as Mario. It seems that Charles will take more of a spokesperson role, possibly similar to Reggie back in the Wii U days, but I presume not as much. If you have any insight, be sure to let us know, and while you're there, subscribe. Real quick, I want to give some support to the new actor. First of all, if we're being honest, nobody can truly replace Charles Martinet. He's a legend of legends, but don't let that stop you from wahooing your heart out. It's some big shoes to fill, but I've already got a special wowie zowie in my heart for you. Go get him, plumber. And here's where we look at the bad outcome. Many people like to assume that he was forced out of playing Mario, and making him the brand ambassador is just a way to avoid controversy from completely firing him. And at this current moment, I think people need to wait for the facts, if they ever come out. Nintendo is no saint of a company. I will always agree with that. The developers are great, but the executive decisions aren't. They're a business who likes to make money, and that's how it is. However, everyone blowing steam about Nintendo firing and abandoning Martinet seems unjustified. Right now, we have no reason to believe this was a malicious move on Nintendo's part, and if anything, it seems all the likely that this moment was always going to happen, sooner than later. Charles Martinet is 67. While he's not exactly ancient, I wouldn't call him young, and he's not getting any younger. Nobody wants to work forever, and even though being Mario isn't exactly hard work, it's still work. Let him retire. Until I have proof otherwise, I'm gonna stay happy believing that this was his choice, and this is what he wants. Why waste energy hating a company if we don't even know if there is a reason to hate them? This time. Now, in happier news, it's good to think that Charles Martinet at least left the character with a boom, rather than a whimper. Think back to the most recent Mario games. While of course he's been in all of them, his last ones were nothing to scoff at. The best Luigi's Mansion with Luigi's Mansion 3, absolutely one of the best and biggest 3D Marios with Odyssey, the highest selling Mario Kart, and although it seems he didn't get to play in Mario Wonder, which I think is a sorely missed swan song, with all the work and the rest, it can't go unappreciated. It's the end of an era. I don't know what's to come next. Will 90% of us even notice a difference? With Arlo's correct guess that Martinet was gone, it's true that it won't be a perfect clone of the original voice. But it also shows that most people couldn't tell the difference in the first place. You know, it really is the end of an era. We lost Satoru Iwata. He is the one who shaped Nintendo how we see it now. The good, and a bit of the bad. If it weren't for him, we would never know Nintendo as the Blue Ocean Company, going against the grain to make simple, fun games, with all their unique gimmicks. People love and hate Nintendo for that, and we can thank Satoru Iwata for all of it, and I truly am thankful we got to live that experience. Now, he's replaced by a more business-minded president, but that's not a bad thing either, because now we can live knowing Nintendo probably won't have another Wii U situation, but also follow up the Switch with the reasonable sequel of the Switch 2. Then, on the Nintendo of America side of things, once Reggie Fils-Aime set everything in order for Western Nintendo, he retired and brought Doug Bowser in to fill his shoes. Besides the developers themselves like Miyamoto and Sakurai, the major pillars of the face of Nintendo are gone. No more massive gimmicks that will change the way we play. No more kicking ass and taking names. No more, "Hey, Stinky!" That era is over. Don't be disappointed. We can be sad for what's to be lost. But change doesn't have to be bad. We'll just have to wait and see. The worst outcome, I think, has already been avoided. And that's Chris Pratt as a full-time Mario. But I don't think that any company could afford that, so we're in the clear for now. What I'm worried about is what they're gonna do with Waluigi. But that's my 2 cents, and if you want more, subscribe to the channel. It's always appreciated. And if you want to give back that 2 cents, tell me how you see this retirement. And I've got a channel community member Discord that you can access with that 99-cent join button. But with that, make sure to stop and smell the roses once in a while. And as always, keep cool.
Bye-bye!